Way to get that ready. This week on the Misfit podcast, we talk about how to get you to regionals with Cycle 4.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Misfit podcast, episode 19, in fact.
What?
Seth and Drew here to talk about Cycle 4.
Yes. We are now on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So for anybody that's used to watching the podcast on YouTube, you can go right to iTunes now and plug your phone into your car and listen to this nonsense while you're driving around. For anyone on iTunes that doesn't know who we are, Seth and I are the co-founders of Misfit Athletics. We provide coaching and programming for competitive CrossFit athletes. And it's branched out into all these camps and media and whatnot. So if you listen to the recovery podcast or one of the ones before, sometimes you'll come on and they'll be very specific to our website, which you can check out obviously at misfitathletics.com. So
sometimes we just talk about random shit and people get into that
too.
too.
We do. It's true. We get some athletes on here. It gets a little bit more entertaining than informational, so kind of crosses back and forth.
That's right. We have some training camps coming up. Speaking of that, San Antonio, back to Pillar, January 8th through the 10th. We actually have sold quite a few tickets to that camp, and we tend to limit the amount of signups. So if you want to get in there, you still have some time, but we may be running low on tickets, so get in there quickly. CrossFit Ephrata in Pennsylvania, the 29th of January through the 1st of February. It's near Lancaster. It's about a 3-hour drive from New York City if you want to commute. And then kind of a big announcement. We've put it out there, but we haven't talked a lot about it. Our official open prep camp is coming up in New Jersey at CrossFit Clue, one of our favorite gyms ever. We have tickets available for that at misfitgear.com. The other two are on sale on Eventbrite, but you can go through the blog and go to the camp section and find the link there. So those are coming up. You want to talk details about the Clue camp, or do we want to just kind of...
Yeah, I mean,
it's a little different than a normal training
cool.
camps.
It's cool. It's you get the best of both worlds. Regular training camps, you get coached by all of us, which is a big part of Clue Camp. But probably even better is you get to train with some of the best athletes in the world for an entire weekend. You show up at the playland that is it's like the fantasy factory for CrossFit, basically.
It's exactly what it is.
At CrossFit Clue in is it Somerset, New Jersey?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's a fantastic place. The people are fantastic that work there and that are going to host this stuff. They're going to have some pretty sweet gear packs for everybody.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, that's an understatement for sure. So it is more expensive than our other camps, but it's more expensive because the experience is something that you can't really get at any other place. So being able to show up there right before the open, learn from us, and learn how to push from some of the best in the game is a pretty cool opportunity if you can make it happen.
And it actually is right before the open. So if there's anything last minute that you need to clean up, chances are if it's coming up in the open, it will be addressed at that camp. And like Drew said, there'll be, not only will you learn from the whole staff of HQ coaches here from Misfit Athletics, but you'll learn from the experienced athletes of all the team Misfit athletes. I think Alexis is the only one that's not going to show up because she finds math more important than exercise. Yeah.
We also have a shitload of fun wherever we go. Like, even if you don't care about the open, and you just want to come hang out with all of us, we always have fun. So if you just want to come have fun with us,
the people working out will...
That's a thing.
I mean, there'll be a good mix of beverages there, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
lots of Fit Aid.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But there'll also be other beverages there, too. So some people will be kicking back, having a good time. That's true. That's very true. Fit Aid mixes with all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay. All right. Anyway, we'll talk more about Clue Camp, and you'll see some posts on social media about that. But if you do want to train with the best we have to offer, that is your opportunity. So take advantage.
As always, you can find our apparel, the Misfit Athletics apparel, at misfitgear.com. The new shorts, you guys kind of crushed us and took all of them.
Yeah.
But we do have a few sizes left, and I was nervous about creating our own kind of short, and these things are awesome. I'm not trying to sell them right now. I am, but I'm not. Like, just as someone who hates shitty material and clothing, and you get given free stuff all the time in CrossFit, and it's scratchy or whatever, this stuff is like, it looks good and it's really comfortable. Like, the feedback from our athletes has been like, whoa, you guys like did an awesome job on this. So we have more on the way. Yes, you will see them come back to the site. Hopefully we still have some in your size right now if you want to get them now, but are they the best product we've ever had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, there's no question. There's nothing I can say about it that hasn't been said already, but yeah, they're the best shorts that we've ever had, best overall product we've ever had. So, and
we have some new stuff coming out. So, always keep an eye on our Instagram and Facebook and YouTube channel just to see what we have coming in the pipeline, because we're just going to keep dropping stuff. It's just never going to stop.
We hope it'll never stop anyway.
Yeah.
We hope. So, if you guys haven't seen it already, Team Misfit athlete Cameron Wilson is finally back, right? After a year off.
Baby G.
Check out his video. Ted did a great job filming him at our last training camp.
Ted made him look way cooler than he really is.
That's very true. Yeah, Ted took all the best and some of the worst features about him, put it into like a 7-8 minute video, right? Something like that. How long is it? Yeah. So you don't have to watch Cam for 30 minutes because that could be a little too much. But 7-8 minutes is like just the right dose of Cam if you really want to get to know him a little better. He is back on the competition scene. He actually did really well at mock regionals, all things considered, 6th or 7th, something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of things were not his strengths in that.
He will also be at the Pillar Camp,
he will
San
be
Antonio,
Pillar.
Texas. So if you want to come see
Yes.
Baby G and
will he be at
the
Clue
legend,
too?
He will.
All right.
He will. He's all booked.
So he is back officially. Go check out his video. Ted did a great job on that on YouTube on our channel, Misfit Athletics.
Just another little quick recap on mock regionals. Just want to say congratulations to Travis and Carrie and every other athlete that did the competition. It was really fun putting it together. We're already planning, getting ready for next year. More athletes, bigger prizes, better workouts, everything, the whole shebang. So, yay, mock regionals.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little break from mock regionals, though. I'll worry about that
a
little while later.
Yeah.
Kind of some big news. We'll take a minute to chat about it, not too long. But we have probably the largest change or improvement that we've had ever in the history of Misfit Athletics on the horizon. So as the company and product has kind of grown and expanded over the last 2.5 years, so has all of you. Our user base, our athletes, is just blown up far beyond our expectations. To kind of keep up with you guys, we have decided to basically upgrade your experience, and we're going to do that by basically creating a whole new website for you guys. And the website is going to offer you all the things you guys have been asking for. So over the past couple of years, people ask, can I have more of this? Can you explain that a little more? Can you give me some more detail on that? Can I get more coaching without signing up for remote coaching? So on and so forth. And we think that this website will provide that middle ground that meets a lot of these needs.
It looks cool too, man.
It is like a shiny new bike.
It is. It's just like a shiny new bike. It's very, very exciting for us, and it should be very exciting for you guys too. We know that the price tag on remote coaching just isn't doable for some people. We totally get that. It's still underpriced, but that doesn't mean it's not overpriced for you personally. So we're meeting you in the middle. We're going to try to provide some really substantial information and break out separate programs for different people, and there's all kinds of cool stuff coming on that. We don't want to give too much away before we get to show you guys some teasers and whatnot, but one morning when you hit refresh on misfitathletics.com,
that's gonna
you're
be
going
crazy.
You're going to be pleasantly surprised. So
Got a little ways to wait still. You focus on the open and worry about that after.
Absolutely.
But it is coming. And my last comment on that will be the new and improved comment section. You'll see. It's going to be awesome.
we're going to push that hard, so be ready.
Yeah. There are people that just take, never give us just a little comment back. you'll want to now. It's going to be a lot more fun. So.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh my God, I think we got through all that.
Cycle 4.
We actually have to talk about Cycle 4 now.
We do.
Nah. Go ahead.
Are we going to do any Metcons, Seth?
Cycle 4 features several Metcons. Yeah, so a lot of you guys are pretty familiar with this. The way that we kind of build you up getting ready for the Open. Cycle 4 is about just being able to go. Training multiple pieces a day, recovering quickly between them and hitting another one. Not necessarily the heaviest pieces, but you're going to have to work over and over again. Everybody remembers Metcon Mondays. Metcon Mondays features 3 Metcons on Monday. That's your whole training day. Being able to focus on really putting those movements together for high rep, with intensity, over and over again, and then being able to do it again within a couple hours, and then being able to put all those pieces again together the next day. It's really about being in the best possible shape you can be in for the Open, and we know the Open is just kind of, it's a good test of work capacity, and there's obviously skills involved, and there's some heavy lifting involved, but it's more about getting up and getting to work. So,
man, sometimes just people forget what our sport is. And Cycle 4 is a reminder that CrossFit is still CrossFit, and it's time to do more CrossFit.
My favorite thing about Cycle 4, and this is totally tooting my own horn, but I don't care, is that every year we find people. A lot of people still jump on board with us at this point in the year. They go, okay, my best chance of getting ready for the Open is getting with these guys on Cycle 4. They will get me prepared, or at least give me a dose of what I can expect. And every year we have people that have made the switch to us and committed to what we're doing from this point on to the Open. And every year we get tons of people that make regionals for the first time. They go, wow, I've never been able to break through that wall. I don't know what's held me back in the past, but I just feel more prepared than ever after following for 6-8 weeks, and now I'm ready to go. And we see scores just, they blow my mind. Like, I put workouts up there, or the Open workout gets repeated, and the scores that they put up, I'm just like,
come on over to the dark side, strong guy. You know you want
Seriously.
to. You know you're sick of putting that belt on and covering your head in chalk. Let's go. High rep gymnastics. I'm just going to throw it out there. If you can't do them, you suck at CrossFit.
that's right.
It's just a fact.
You have to have that
I
base.
know personally. It's terrible.
You have to have a base of strength. You have to have that good motor that we're going to keep building for you. And then, again, putting those reps together, rep after rep after rep, efficiently, not burning out with, muscle fatigue, being able to breathe the entire time. That's what CrossFit is. Like, that's what it is. And people think they can train for regionals beforehand, and there's a very, very small population that actually have any business training for what they think is going to be at regionals now. You don't get to just walk through the Open unless your name is like Travis Williams. He's going to get through the Open. Alexis Johnson's going to get through the Open. Jordan Cook's going to get through the Open.
Are they still going to follow Cycle 4?
Oh, they'll be on Cycle 4.
Oh, holy shit.
Now, will we sprinkle in some weakness work? Absolutely. And should you do the same? Absolutely. But the core of Cycle 4 is getting ready for that Open workout. That every year you do that. This year it'll be 16.2, and you'll say, oh my God, that was the worst workout I've ever done in my life. Well, it's not. You're just pushing yourself harder that time around because you actually give a shit at that moment. Well, if you actually give a shit and put some effort forward in Cycle 4, you won't feel half as bad when you finish those workouts. And it will give you the chance to, some people really should be doing those 2 or 3 times if they have to make that next level up to qualify, if it's a realistic thing, either for themselves or for their team. So being able to recover and just do another Metcon, a real tough, straightforward Metcon is super, super important, and that's what we focus on now. So what's lifting going to look like anyway?
Yeah, we just talked about how you're not going to do any lifting. There's plenty of lifting. Don't worry.
What? I'm
actually pretty excited about test week. The lifts in test week, big change from test weeks in previous Cycle 4s. What we like to ask ourselves in the programming of test week is specifically what do we want them to improve in Cycle 4. So some pretty grueling touch and go sets of both squat cleans, power cleans, and power snatch and squat snatch. And then a fun little front squat ladder test, because although we are the back squat, back squat, back squat, back squat, back squat crew, front squat is what's in our sport, and there is a certain level of skill and mobility and technique to it that it needs to come up at some point. So we are finally front squatting for the people that just couldn't stand the fact that we don't front squat.
Why do you like the touch and go?
I like the touch and go for the same reason. We can go back to the Metcon. So earlier on in the year, we try to separate out those skills. We try to say, let's make sure your gymnastics are good and your rowing's good and your burpees are good, and then we put them together. Our sport still relies so much more on you being able to move a barbell over and over.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're starting to blur the lines between strength work and what you need to be able to do strength-wise in conditioning pieces. We're not going to tell you to do sets of 10 to 20 or anything along those lines, but we're going to ask you to hold on to the barbell longer. We're going to ask you to think about both the up portion of the lift, the down portion of the lift, the kind of the total package so that it transfers over. The weight is still plenty heavy, but we're kind of just asking you to hold on to the barbell like you would in the sport, because again, this programming is written for regionals level athletes, and eventually those weights that you see in the open turn into pretty heavy weights.
Yeah, they sure do.
And when the deadlift ladders and snatch ladders and this and that have come up in the open in the past, those are some heavy ass weights too.
What I like about the touch and go is it sticks with the theme so well of Cycle 4, because for me personally anyway, there is nothing else that gets my heart rate up faster than a set of touch and go. And if I'm forced to do multiple sets of that, and then if there's a time component put on at any point in time to do my multiple sets,
there will be a time component on every single one of them.
It is a Metcon for me, especially if I'm actually pushing my percentages or pushing my limits, or some people like to dance around their actual percentages, and they'll feel it really bad this time around. So it also makes those singles, if you do, if that's the right strategy in an open WOD to go for the fast singles, it makes them that much easier to pick 100%. It up and drop it, reset, pick it up and drop it. And when you're used to touch and go, singles are easier. And I can just hear Travis in my head right now going, "Nuh-uh, touch and go everything."
And we see what happens sometimes when Jordan just strolls past him in a workout.
It's happened.
It has
many times.
So for those people that want to continue to throw heavy weights up in single rep form, is there going to be any version of that during the cycle?
Of course. In Metcons and interval work, you will have plenty of opportunities where it is appropriate to go singles. I mean, you think back at an example of an open WOD. I can't remember the year that it was, but the burpees and snatches and the ladder that you build up. I mean, I'm not going to ask someone to go through for 15 minutes and then hold on to a 165 power snatch. It just doesn't make any sense. So you'll get a dose of that. But also, because we realize that we can follow the direction the open's going in, we know there'll be a heavy component after a Metcon this year, or something like that, something similar. So at least once a week, you'll be testing a heavy single. Immediately following an interval piece or a Metcon or something like that, you'll actually see if you can still dig down deep and find that strength to make a lift when you're completely exhausted.
Those things are skills. Being able to tell yourself that you can still lift to your potential is huge. So if you can prove it to yourself and start to strategize a month and a half before the open starts, you've got a leg up. So.
No question. Yeah, and I actually think you're right about that. I think so much of that is mental. And the people that break through that mental barrier, you saw last year, there was so many clean and jerk PRs in the open, and people would be like, that's bullshit. There's no way they're hitting a PR. It's like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
I came close to hitting a PR, and I had no business doing that. It's just you're in the heat of the moment. You're in competition. You're as warm as you're going to get. And if you can actually pull yourself together after taking a few deep breaths, you have just as good of a chance as ever to hit a huge lift being a CrossFitter. So having that experience under your belt is going to be huge.
We made a change last year to the accessory work that worked really well for us, and we're bringing it back this year. I want to tell them a little about the partner stuff?
Yeah, this is a lot more fun because realistically, even though this may not be so bad on your central nervous system, this style of training does take a toll on your soul, basically. Like, it's hard to continue to do touch and go and Metcon and interval and bitch work over and over and over again. So to have kind of the skill portion still be involved where you can get some volume and some reps in and some practice in outside of stuff that's pretty mentally difficult. We have partner interval work on gymnastics. So every single week you'll find a partner muscle up WOD, a partner toe to bar piece, a partner handstand push-up piece, partner chest to bar piece, and they'll keep kind of cycling on different days throughout each week. And hopefully that's a fun way for you to get some extra reps in. Hopefully, for me as a coach, being like a remote coach a lot of times, if you have a training partner, it's good for them to be able to put the eyes on you during those reps and say, oh, you really got to fix this before the open. Another big thing would be the handstand push-ups. You guys should always be using the open standard. Well, 90% of the time you should be using the open standard when you're practicing your kipping handstand push-ups, because we expect to see that again. Your partner should be keeping an eye on your reps and keeping you honest on that. So it helps with that, and it's just more fun. What else?
The podcast is short because it's no nonsense time of year. We're doing what, a lot of sports specific strength and conditioning programs that are successful get you in really good shape, and then they ask you to do your sport. So that's what we're doing. We are getting very close to the open, and we are in the business of sending more and more and more athletes to regionals. Last year, considering how many athletes there are in the open, the amount that we sent to regionals, the statistics are
blows my mind.
Incredible. So, and we're not the type of coaches to take credit for it. The athletes themselves have created this insane Misfit community.
Yeah.
And they have all kind of come together, and they talk to each other, and they use each other for, remote training partners.
Right.
And it's absolutely incredible. So, the style of training that we've come up with on our website, and all of you guys, sticking together as a community and feeling like you're working hard together is, kind of a recipe for who the hell's this guy at regionals every year. It keeps happening. And as the sport progresses and it gets harder and harder to make it keeps happening anyways. So it's still possible. That's 100% true.
Yeah, I really thought last year when they made that change from 48 to 20, I was like, oh man,
we're not going to travel anywhere.
No, we're done. And then half the people that went to regionals from us were first time qualifiers. We're like, how's that even possible? But okay, I'll go with it. See what happens.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So we're planning on having another full regionals month. So hopefully you can be part of it. That'd be cool.
Yeah. We got anything else, Ted?
Ted's happy that we're cutting this shorter than normal.
Yeah, I think the intro might have been as long as the podcast. That's all right, though, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
That was episode 19 of the Misfit podcast. Head to our Facebook page, click like, head to our Instagram, click follow.
Yeah.
Tag us, hashtag Misfit Athletics,
follow
hashtag
me too if you
Sharpen
want.
the Axe. What's your Seth UMFer?
Seth UMFer.
YOUMFER.
That's right.
Boom. Get some followers in there.
Yeah, I won't.
And really exciting for us to be on iTunes. So head over to iTunes and subscribe to our podcast. See you guys next time.
See you.